Cruel intentions. In the fast-paced city of Abuja, power and influence often took precedence over love and loyalty. Tosin, a brilliant and ambitious lawyer, knew this all too well. She had worked her way up from humble beginnings to become one of the most sought-after legal minds in the city. But her success came with its fair share of challenges, including navigating a world filled with deceit and manipulation. Tosin had always kept her personal life separate from her career, but that changed when she met Femi, a suave and charming businessman. Femi swept her off her feet with his charisma, showering her with attention and affection. It wasn't long before they became the talk of Abuja's elite social circles. On the surface, they seemed like the perfect power couple, both successful, attractive, and admired by many. But beneath Femi's charm lay a darkness that Tosin hadn't anticipated. One evening, while sorting through some paperwork in Femi's office, Tosin came across something that made her stomach twist. A file labeled Operation Crown. Inside were confidential documents outlining a scheme to take over a rival company, not through business acumen, but through ruthless tactics that involved bribery, blackmail, and even threatening the lives of key stakeholders. Femi was using every dirty trick in the book to consolidate his power. Tosin's heart raced as she realized the man she had fallen for wasn't just ambitious, he was dangerous. Unsure of what to do, Tosin confronted Femi that night. She expected him to deny it, to try and smooth things over with more of his charm. But instead, Femi didn't bother hiding his true self. "Do you really think this city runs on honesty, Tosin?" he asked, his voice cold and calculated. "Everything I've built, every success I've achieved, it's because I know how to play the game. You, of all people, should understand that." Tosin was stunned. The man she thought she knew was nothing but a facade. "This isn't a game, Femi, you're ruining lives." Femi smirked, leaning back in his chair. "That's the price of power. If you want to stay at the top, you need to be willing to do whatever it takes." Tosin felt her chest tighten. She had worked hard to achieve her success with integrity, but now she was faced with a choice. Continue her relationship with Femi and turn a blind eye to his cruelty, or walk away from everything she had built with him. As days passed, Tosin struggled with the decision. She couldn't deny the connection she still felt with Femi, but the more she learned about his dealings, the more disgusted she became. Then one night, she overheard Femi on the phone, discussing how to get rid of someone who had become a threat to his plans. That was the final straw. Tosin realized she couldn't stand by and watch him destroy people for his own gain. But she knew Femi well enough to understand that leaving him wouldn't be easy. He wasn't the type to let go without a fight. With a heavy heart, Tosin devised a plan. She gathered all the evidence she could find on Femi's illegal activities and quietly contacted a trusted friend in law enforcement. She knew that exposing Femi would put her at risk, but she was prepared to face the consequences. The night she confronted him for the last time, Tosin's voice was steady, though her heart was pounding. "It's over, Femi. I'm leaving and I'm taking everything you've hidden with me." Femi's eyes darkened, his calm exterior cracking for the first time. "You think you can just walk away from this? From me?" "I already have," Tosin said, her resolve unshaken. "You'll face the consequences of everything you've done." In a fit of rage, Femi tried to intimidate her, but Tosin had anticipated his reaction. She had already ensured that the evidence would reach the authorities if anything happened to her. Femi, realizing he was cornered, had no choice but to let her go. Though the hatred in his eyes made it clear he wouldn't forget her betrayal, a few weeks later, Femi's empire came crashing down. His crimes were exposed and his carefully constructed world of deceit and manipulation crumbled. Tosin, though heartbroken by the man she once loved, felt a sense of justice. She had escaped his cruel intentions, but not without scars. As she stood on the balcony of her new apartment, looking out over the Abuja skyline, Tosin reminded herself that power built on cruelty and lies could never last. She had chosen a different path, one of integrity, even if it meant walking away from the love she thought she had found. But in the end, she knew she had made the right choice. And as for Femi, his rise to power had been swift, but his fall was even swifter.